Hello, guys. I hope you guys had a great week that we just closed. Today's Saturday, the 15th of June, and this is a weekend's analysis. I will go through all the major forex pairs, the dollar index. We can have a quick look on equities, commodities, um, and look at the economic calendar, get ready for the next week. And yeah, that's all. And let's talk about the week we just closed. And let me go here to the dollar index. And this week has been, as you can see, a bullish week for the dollar. Uh, as we can easily see, which for me was it's quite a surprise to see where the dollar is closing the week. Okay, and the big reason for it is that if I go here to the gold chart, we are having pretty much we had the third bullish week for golds. Of course, we closed here, but that was the few last few hours of Friday. The gold then sold off and closed where it closed. But knowing where gold, you know, went from, since this correction we made here to another new high, and seeing where the dollar index is, for me it's quite a big surprise. Me personally, I had a really difficult week. Okay, I have been trying to sell the dollar, um, because especially because of gold, as we just saw. And if we go to the euro dollar here, for example, we had a really good close last week, right? And for me, this was a wedge, and for me, I was trying, every correction to buy this thing, planning, that this market would probably, maximum was to retest this trend line and then bounce from there. But as we can see, we closed well below the trend line again, and this here leaves us with a false breakout in play in the euro. Okay, so we are changing the euro. I'm changing my view on the euro from bullish to maybe range or even bearish. Okay, because now we have a false breakout in play. So everyone, a lot of people have been trying to buy this thing. A lot of people have been trying to buy the zero move, and now everyone got out. Okay, every long got out. The last few ones will probably have their stops below the 618. So if these, if next week we start breaking the 618s, and then I think that the pressure to go back to this 111 area is going to be key again. And I think this will come faster than we can probably imagine, pretty much, because, no one is getting in front of this move now. I'm not, okay? 618 is here. I'm not going to buy that. I'm not going to buy because the size of this candle here, it shows you, who is in control. So for me, I want to be with the trend, right? So any correction here to maybe 1250, is the best area. I would feel, really good to sell. Really, really good to sell. So this is what my plan for next week is, for the euro pair here is to be okay looking for corrections here. So probably go to the 4 hour chart. So any correction for me on 1250 area, 1260, it's good. Okay, now if we start getting above 1260, or even especially this 1270 area, then I'm gonna get out of my shorts again, get out of my trade again on the euro, get stopped out, and then I will be away because I tried long, didn't work. I tried short, didn't work. It just avoids trading this pair. Okay, so the risk it's above 1270. Okay, guys, especially 1260, 1270. This zone here, you don't want to see the euro going above here again. If that happens, then it's very messy because then I'm not gonna know exactly what to do here. And if I had a fib, let's say that we this is the low, or at the 618 is going to be the low. Let's say you can see the 38 too. it's around 12.55. Okay, so knowing that we have, the 38.2 there, that for me is key. Okay, that for me is key. So any correction to this zone, I'm looking to sell because the risk here, guys, is very small. If I do this, as you can see, I'm doing this for a target at least back to the 618, and then probably 112. So we're talking here 7 to 1 to the 618 again. Nearly 3 to 1. So for me, it's well worth it. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. So let's go back to the dollar index, which we just had a quick look, but let's have a good look here right now. So the dollar index, I think we close very bullish, the same way as the euro did, but the opposite. We closed well above the zone, yellow zone here, which we tried to close well below again. Few closes here with a hammer, closes here, but then rejection. So this zone for me here on the dollar index is key for support. Okay, so if Monday we start dropping and coming to this area, I think that is the right time to maybe start buying the dollar again. Okay, which means that I was looking the 4 hour. I had a few things here. Maybe this was a channel broke, didn't work. you know so like I said, this is the area here. So on the daily, this zone comes at, let's have a quick look again. So this zone comes around 97.30. On the 4 hour, so 97.30, it's like here. Okay, let me write this down actually so I don't forget what the daily showing me. So 97.30, so this area here, right? And if that breaks, then you should look for this kind of area here, 97 area. Okay, but 97, guys, it's, I think, the risk here, to be very honest. I think even with a move back to 97, for me, still okay, still okay. I think it's worth it getting long. Okay, that's what I mean. But if it gets below 97, that's it that for me, it's key. And the reason is, so many times the market stopped at 97, the close 97, rejections, and here is the same, right? First test 97, rejection, close above, came back, retested 97, and then big bounce. So 97, I think, is the bear bull line, above bullish, below bearish, in my view. So I'm gonna keep an eye first on this 97.30 and then 97 if we get there, um, in the dollar index. Let's go to the others. Let's go to the cable. So the cable, guys, uh, it's very interesting. I think we have to keep an eye on the cable here to the next week, especially because if I put this here, next week we have few central banks rate decisions, and one of them is the BOE on Thursday. Okay, so keep that in mind, for the cable. Okay, guys, keep that in mind for the cable. We have a trend line here, guys, which we had like two, three, fourth, and now we are pretty much trying to break again. And this time we close below, not a breakout. Okay, when I see trend lines like this one, I expect a really good break. So I'm talking about this red candle here, well below the trend line. This should be like here for me to call this a real break. For me, it's still it's still below, but not much. So for me, this can be here, something really to think about. And if that, even with that trend line there, guys, this is a zone that the market has felt support, right? So I'm not too sure what to do with the cable here. Okay, it can go lower, can come maybe to here, to the channel support area, I don't know, which is around 20, 23, the 23 handle, very possible. But this is the area support. So the cable for me, it's a little bit complicated. It's not clean as the euro is on the long term. So this cable can really feel support here, or can start dropping to 23. Who knows? So for me, the cable is not my favorite setup for next week, to be very honest. Very candlestick, very close to this low. This low, it's only at 25.58. So we are talking here. What did I say? 25.58. So we are only what 30 pips, 40 pips away from that low. So very close, and can start breaking to new lows here very quickly. Okay, very quickly. So be very careful. Same time that I see this as a bear, if I look the weekly now, I know we are in the range bottom kind of thing. So that's why don't really like, or I don't really, I don't know what to do here on the cable itself. Okay. So, but I'll keep an eye because if we drop to 23, you know, then it's going to be very interesting because there it's a risk reward that worth taking, with a 50 pip stop loss, and more than 200 pips target. I know it's a long-term play, but something to really think about, right? Um, in there, and we have, I think, this kind of head and shoulders here, which I have the target at as well, in that zone. So that's why I think 123 in the long term for me is very interesting, very interesting. And I hope we get there because that's going to give us opportunity. Because then I can start buying the cable cross pairs as well, right? Not just against the dollar. So that's something to really think about. The dollar Swiss. So this one here, it's another one which I tried to trade. We had this kind of a big wedge, first breakout at the top. Then now we have a first breakout at the bottom. Very confusing. I was trading against this trend line, as you probably know. We never had a good reaction on Thursday, right? That was the first thing. I like this. Start off something, but then Friday, guys, we closed above, so I got out of my trade, my longs, and no problem there. So, and it's a good close, right? It's a good close, not too close to the trend line. It's very good if you are bullish, kind of. But one thing you have to keep in mind is that we are on the 38 too. So for me to really get more bullish, I need to see this go because as we still below the 38 too, there's still that feeling that you want to see follow through when we break a trend line. Doesn't matter if it's a false breakout or a real break or anything like that. You don't want to see this happening, right? Like we broke and then done range, and then drops back below. Same here, right? Range pretty much, and then break here. So I don't want to see, you know, I want to see this 38 to go quickly. If we start dropping below here, I'm not too sure what's gonna happen. Okay, but one thing is for sure, if we do close below here again, 99.40 area, something like that, I think that's gonna look quite bearish because that sucked in so many longs right now. I think everyone that got stopped out probably tried to buy now, thinking that we're gonna come here again. So imagine if the market, opens with a gap or something like that, and then we close Monday like here, 99.40 area, that is not gonna look so good, right? Same for the dollar. If I go to the dollar, let's think about it. If we do close red, let's say we close here at 97.20, 97, that's still a little bit bullish. But if we start breaking below 97 again, that's the area that you have to think, okay, what's gonna happen here? Okay, and keep in mind, we never broke this channel on the dollar index. That's something to keep an eye. That's one thing that was in my mind, in the back of my head, like, okay, for me to really get bullish the euro, I need to see this channel go. And that never happened, right? We saw this candle, which was good. Then we saw a red candle. I was really happy with this candle, but then this one didn't really help me, you know. But then I said, okay, let's see if the 100 moving average holds, which it did first, but then the second continues, and here we are. So 97, like I said, is the risk. And if you start breaking below 97, not sure what to do. And then if we start breaking this channel, mm, then it's game on, right? Dollar yen. Let's talk about dollar yen. So dollar yen is one of the pairs which I'm very surprised we still 108. I'm still very surprised because we have a strong dollar for a few days now. You can say weeks, but I'm talking here, shorter term, few days. We have stock market which is not selling off. So why the hell dollar yen is still here? And let's do this. Let's compare together here the S&P with dollar yen. And this is something that I showed on my Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw, but it's a very, very big information for us. This is dollar yen, S&P 500 on the orange line and dollar index, dollar yen on the candle. Sorry, guys, still early here. Just woke up a few an hour ago, so I'm still a little bit sleepy. But looking dollar yen like a range mode and an S&P like here, look the size of this divergence. Okay, don't look at this like S&P needs to come here straight away, because if I move the chart, it's going to be even more far. Look, don't think that way, but think about the size of a move, right? The S&P did this. Dollar index, dollar yen should be at least above 109.50 or so, right? So that for me, it's a really good information, and the information is very clean. One of them is line, and you have to be ready for that. Okay, dollar yen maybe broke a triangle. Okay, we broke a triangle here. Maybe we broke, and now we are ready to come to 109. Okay, or the S&P's line, and the S&P will stop, breaking this low soon, and then maybe drop to the lows again. Who knows? I don't know which one is lying. So you have to wait and see which one breaks out first. So dollar yen, started to break maybe a possible triangle here. Now we have a trend line. Let me see if this trend line connects to this high here. I don't think so. No, it doesn't. So anyway, I'm gonna leave there. So if you start, as we broke this triangle, if we start breaking this trend line and then break this high, I think that's gonna suggest us that the dollar yen is now gonna pick up. Um, with the price of S&P is, right? So then you might look to, like I said, 109.50, 109 at least for dollar yen. Okay, one thing is for sure, 109, it's big resistance for dollar yen. Okay, that's where I think everyone's gonna try a short, including me. Okay, you have to. Okay, I think the risk reward is really good. You're gonna risk about what, 20 pips or so. So for me, it's key. Okay, this is 109, and as you can see on the daily, if we connect the trend line from the high to this high, the 109, it's there. Okay, so can we have a good move to 109 and then calm down again? Something to watch out. But looking on the long term here, let's not forget that we have this very, very good long term play in the market. All right, this trend line here, the bottom one, starts all the way from 2013. Okay, so years of length here on dollar yen, and this here comes around the 107 area, 107 handle. So for me, this is the area I really want to stop buying, not where we are now, because I still think there is a chance for us to drop there. So I promised you, if we drop to 107, I will try to buy this thing. Okay, I will try to buy this thing, and that's one of the plays I want to do if we get there. Okay, so keep that in mind on the dollar yen. Okay, um, if we get there in a few weeks' time, who knows? I don't know where we're gonna get it, but that's the area I really want to start buying. Okay, and if we go to 109, you should look to make some business there with a tight stop. Okay, now dollar Canadian. So this dollar Canadian is another one which I tried to buy, didn't work. We had this channel. I hope you can see well. We broke the trend. I was hoping for a retest. I really like this one because if we put it from this high to this low, the 38.2 was at the same level too, with this low here of this candle and their rejection this red. So this zone here was massive. So as you can see, if the market as the market broke, stop loss was overhit, and this gave even more pressure to the upside on the dollar Canadian. So for me, this now it's a little bit confusing, more bullish than bearish, no question about it. So I'll be looking here to um, um, I'm gonna look here and see what to do. Maybe buying back if we drop to 33.50. That's support. And see how it goes. Okay. we had some formations which pushed the market down. I think I saw this from Nick Trades, if I'm not mistaken. She posted few formations here. I like her analysis, so I wrote it down what she said to guide me. So which was good. The selling here was really good, with oil as well helping. So for me, that was quite good. So dollar Canadian, 33.50 support, and now I think there is a chance for us to go back to 135, um, because I think everyone that stopped out, they are out of the market, okay, like me. So I don't think they will get in front of this and trying to bring this down. Who knows? I'm not too sure. But one thing is for sure, if we start breaking 33.50, if we close, let's say, below 33.45, that's the bear and bullish line. If we start breaking below here, then I think the pressure is downside again for this market. The Aussie, I'm very surprised we're still here. Some people are surprised it's not lower. I don't think that is the case. The reason is commodities are very strong, was very strong last this week. So why the and stocks as well not really selling off. So not too sure what the Aussie is doing here, as how bearish it is. I know China trade deal, it's bad for Australia a little bit, but I think that has been pricing in a little bit. There is a little bit more to go, but one thing is for sure. Looking correlations, this here has been totally to the downside. This is one that I tried to buy very small. I think when was it? I think it was here. Yeah, was at this test here, 69.30 at level somewhere here. I bought it stop loss just below the 618, and pretty much that was it, because I knew the pressure here was very strong, a lot more than I expected. So when I see things which doesn't really go in line of what other markets are doing, I don't like to go in front of the market and try to beat, because most of the time you get hurt from that. So after I got stopped out, I never tried again. So I'm happy for that. But one thing is for sure, dollar at the Aussie here broke this low that we made here. So that one is one thing. We close on green here on the 4 hour, but still not really, not a massive, not a really good reaction. It's a candle that can be anything really. So maybe we can, bounce and then sell off again, or Monday start breaking lower already. So I don't know. And this is few pairs which I don't really like to hold over the weekend. It's just because of that, Trump thing. Every weekend now he's saying something that moves the market, lots of gaps. And the Oz and the Kiwi is one of those that has the biggest gaps in the Forex market, because anything he says about the China deal, this automatically affects the Aussie itself. So it's one of the pairs of which, when it comes to Friday, I want to clean out of my books. I don't really want to hold it. But here we are, and if we start breaking lower here, I'm not too sure where to go. But let's do something here. Let's put a fib from the low here to the high, and the fib extension here, the first one that we will get to is this 68.20, 68 level. Okay, that is one of the first ones I will keep an eye on the market. Now I see some people adding fibs and things like that from this low here. Let me show you guys from this low here. But don't do it. The reason is because this here is a low that each broker has a different way. It was on that volatility night that we had on yen pairs, Aussie, and things like that. So this low here, it really doesn't really count. So don't add fibs there. To be honest, it's something that it's not gonna show you a real thing. So try to add fibs from different levels. I think that is the best way you can do fib extension, things like that. Okay, but the Aussie here very strong. Don't get in front of it right now. If I was you, the Q is same thing, very strong to the downside, right? I tried to buy this thing as well. same kind of strategy on the Aussie, buying previous high 618, I put it there. Worked for a little bit, you know. But then very shortly after, 2, 3 candles, boom, I got stopped out. So that was a quick trade. But the Kiwi here didn't broke the low yet, but we are close, right? We are very close. We are talking here about 7 pips only, so keep that in mind on the Kiwi here. So don't get in front of this, okay? Don't get in front of this. But one thing is to note, we are at some kind of a small trend line here on the weekly, as you can see from previous low from 2015 to this low here from 2018. So we are here trying to break that. And if we do have a really bad week next week, in close somewhere here, you know, um, I'm gonna keep, I'll keep an eye on this longer term one, which is from the this last peak here in 2001, the low in 2009, and see if we can come here. So if we do come here, it's gonna be pretty much the same level that we were in here in 2015, the low from 2015. So around 61.96, 62 handle if this trend line goes. Okay, so keep that in mind here on the QE dollar. Bearish and bullish line, I think it's quite simple, right? I think this is a kind of a range to bearish kind of mode. But one thing is for sure, the rejection that we had here on the support area, uh, support resistance line was quite perfect, right? 66.87, go there straight away reaction. So that it's longer term, this is the line you want to get above to turn really bullish. But the QE here, guys, shorter term doesn't look like it's gonna stop anytime soon. But resistance, where should you look at? I'll be looking at 65 handle first. Let me delete a few things here, guys. You need to update your charts all the time, right? So let me do that now. So 65 here is key for the Kiwi. If we go there, if we start breaking that, guys, then I will keep an eye on in here. Let me show you guys if I can, if TradingView allows me. So I'll keep an eye in here. So I'm talking here about 65.25 or so. These are the two places that if the market gets there, you need to think a little bit of selling. Okay. Now, if we start breaking above the 65.30, then I'm not too sure, especially 65.60. If we start breaking above 65.60, that's where you don't want to sell anymore. You want to be, a little bit cautious. I'm giving you guys the levels of risk, which means levels that you want to put stop loss above. Okay. You have to know this always, like the two reactions, plan B and plan A. You have to have in your list, okay? Don't get married to ideas because that can hurt sometimes. So those are, I think I checked all the majors, right? So overall, the dollar, it's very strong, right? But there are very interesting areas to look. The euro, see if we can have a correction, sell cable at this kind of range. Can we go to 23 or so? That is the best level to try to get along this thing. Dollar Swiss, can we come react to this area here again, like a kind of retest, and then start bouncing again, looking bullish? Yeah, it's possible. Keep an eye on it. Dollar yen, can we go to 109? 109 is key for this market. Okay. Um, Above 109 in a daily basis, you want not to sell this thing. Okay, so 109 area is key in a daily basis here. In my view, on dollar yen, dollar Canadian, same thing now above the channel, big false breakout here. So can we come back to maybe 3080, 33, sorry, 3380, and then start bouncing again? Something to watch. One second. I'm having some allergy, guys. Sorry. Aussie, same thing, very strong. It's a very, very, very strong train. So don't get in front of it. Use corrections to sell this thing. Okay, but 69 is the bull and bearish line in my view. So, above that, you want to get out of selling positions. The QE is looks like, it really wants to break, but this trend line here on the weekly, don't forget, okay, we are there. Key support area. But if we do break this low here, guys, and start breaking this previous low here as well, which is at 64.64, you want to get out, and this will probably go back here to 62 handle. So that's all the majors, right? Quick recap there. Euro pound is something that you have to keep an eye on. We are at some key kind of reaction area resistance here, guys, but there is a chance, there is still a chance for us to go to the 90, and you have to be prepared for that. That's where I want to try a sell, okay? If we get there, really good, risk reward. I think it's worth it, really, really worth it. Trying a short there, stop loss like somewhere here, or so with a target, first target mid of the range, which is gonna be somewhere here, right? 3 to 1, and then longer one, second one probably somewhere here, right? 6 to 1. So really good risk rewards. Trying to sell at 90. Not really doing so much here. Looks like a triangle. Okay. So in this case, we have an uptrend triangle. So this looks like it's gonna break higher. So if we start breaking higher here, um, look for 90. Okay, that is the level I'm keep an eye on, and this is why I said to you guys that we are kind of resistance, right? So many tests, so many tries here, reactions. So this zone is big, but if you break it, look for 90. Okay, guys? What else? Euro Aussie. Really good reaction here on the Euro Aussie. One thing is for sure, I'm not. I don't know what to do here, to be honest. Looks like a big reaction. Really good candle. So this is only going to interest to me on Tuesday, but only if we have like a red candle here on Monday, right? A close in red here on the Euro Aussie, in my view. Um, in my view. But one thing is for sure, I really like to play this pair in divergence, like RSI diverging, and the RSI he's not divergent yet, so that keeps me a little bit cautious. Okay, so keep that in mind. But if we go to the Q Euro QA, that is something else, right? This here is diverging, so we are getting to kind of really good zones to watch, right? 73.03 is the 618 from the high to the low. So that is some good level to watch, in my opinion. And then 74, it's another big area to watch. So, and if we add a fib extension here from the high to this low, yeah, we can see that we have 73, 74 there. So these are areas to really keep an eye on. This one is divergent. So this one here, I really want to play with it if I can, um, on the shorter term, okay? Because it's divergent. So this for me, it's better than the Euro Aussie. Euro Pound we discuss. Euro Swiss, I'm not sure what to do, but one thing is for sure, we are at trendline support here, and we closed last week kind of a hammer, right? But this week we closed in reds. So for me, that's nothing. So let's see how the reaction is going to be. Maybe a little bit lower again, maybe to the 200 moving average again. Sorry, yeah, the 200 moving average, 1160, and then have a quick bounce again. Not sure, maybe possible, right? Here Canadian, not to do here, and I think that's all, guys. I don't really have anything special on those cross pairs in my opinion. Let's have a quick look on the S&P. So the S&P is not doing too much here, stopped out, but looks like it's kind of correcting, right? RSI is dropping, price action holding. So for me, this is a very simple period of market just stopping, waiting for it, recharging batteries, and get ready for the next move. So I'm not gonna be surprised if I see this market really breaking higher and stop taking this high here. If that is the way, then that's for certain we're going to these highs here. think that the chance is really, really high to go to back to the highs again. So keep an eye here. Any drop to back to this level here. Let's see if the market holds. If it does, you buy, right? Trade this as a range, buy the bottoms, and if you want to sell at the low, at the highs, do it. But very strong trend. Market stopping here. It's very, very bullish. Okay, and especially if you had a fib, we never even got close to the 38 too. So, um, you know, as more time the market spends here, more bullish it's gonna be like when it start breaking. So this is one thing to keep an eye on. The down, same thing, holding very well. Nasdaq, pretty much the same thing. So as you can see, the theme on equities here are very clean, right? The DAX, same thing here. Looks like a really good, clean wedge kind of formation here on the equity. So equities look bullish for me, really does. It looks like we have a first breakout here as well, right? On the 4 hour on the DAX. So that is something to watch there. FTSE, same thing. And the FTSE looks like a bullish flag, really. If you really look about it, something like that. Clone here, right? Looks like it's ready to go. So Um, let's fib here. As you can see, it never reached the 38.2. If we start breaking here, guys, this 73.80, 74 especially, this thing is gonna go. Of course, you're gonna ask me, okay, is the target from the low to the flag, and then that's the right way of calculating, right? Where flags, I know that, but the pole is so big, I'm not gonna target all the way there. No way. Okay. Probably 75.20 and then 76. I'm not don't be greedy, okay? But this thing looks well bullish. Really, really bullish in my view. Um, but Asian markets not so bullish, right? Um, I know they stopped here, but mm, not that great, is it? Let me clean this chart here. I haven't looked this for quite a while, but not falling through, right? It's like it's holding the pressure still a little bit down. So if equities start breaking higher, the the US ones, the DAX, the FTSE, maybe this can come here, but that's gonna be pretty much all, right? Maybe to this area here, who knows? But that's something to keep an eye on. Uh, it's one of the markets I really don't want to buy, the Nikkei, not even the Shanghai Compositive, right? Looks like we have something like that, which is still more bearish than anything else. So keep in mind here. If you want to sell equities, these are the two you want to be a seller because the pressure here is already to the downside. Gold. So let's have a quick look on gold. So gold, guys, before we finish. So the reaction we had lower was pretty much expected. Okay. In other words, if you wanted to sell gold, Friday was the place to do it. When we went to this high here, because like I shared on Twitter and in the chat room and anything else, we kind of retest the trend line. So that was the place to close longs and try to sell because the risk reward was, be just here. So, that's why we had this reaction here. Anyone that bought it, I think they got profits here. I was one. So, and then I tried to buy more, like a little bit. Didn't work out, which is fine. The profits I had from other longs, was bigger, but but don't get, don't try to be very heavy short yet. Okay, I think it's only gonna confirm that this is gonna go lower now. If we start breaking this 1330 level here, okay, because that is gonna confirm that now we are making lower highs, right? We're doing something like that now, not the opposite like we were doing. So wait for that to happen first to confirm that. Don't get heavy shorts yet, and then maybe if that happens, right, we can expect, maybe a correction to this area again, to 13 again, right? So that is the good place to buy, in my view, because keep in mind we have this big trend line, right, which has been key for the market. So maybe I come here, another test, and then bounce again. That is one things I'm looking at on gold, okay? And this is the place I want to buy, not pretty much here, okay? So keep that in mind in gold. Maybe a correction is coming to 13 level, um, but we only gonna confirm that the market now is turning lower if we start breaking this 1330 level first, okay? On a daily perspective. Same for silver. Silver tried to break, but now looks like we have a double top in play. I think a chance of coming back to this zone here, it's, can be likely very soon to speak out, because even if you add a trend line like this, as you can see, it's still well above, right? So don't get heavy short yet. Wait for the market to break previous lows, right? Maybe this one, and then to confirm that now we are turning, right? And then come to this area here. This is the place you want to do business with, in the silver market. And I think that's all, guys. Let's have a quick look on oil then. Oil, very heavy, very heavy. But this one, you have to be kind of away. I don't recommend you to trade this market yet, because we have news coming out on oil, those ships that got attacked. No one, it's everyone's blaming each other, but no one's saying, "Look, I did it. I don't care. Come attack me." No one knows who did it. U.S. is blaming Iran, and other places, and blah blah blah. Who knows? But be careful, because this oil, if they, when it comes clear who did it and what's going to happen next, this can really get sold, or this can um, really bounce because of oil production and oil supply. So uh, this is not a market that you want to be involved with, and the market has been very slow on that news. Okay, I was expecting bigger reactions to either side, but I think the market's just waiting to see what's the outcome. Okay, what's gonna happen next, and when that comes out, which can come out at any minute, then this will move, and it's not gonna surprise me to see oil, making those big, massive moves up or lower. Okay, but if it goes up, expect equities to follow down. Probably equities will follow through, but keep in mind, going back to S&P, for example, we still in this kind of a wedge, right? Triangle, whatever you want to call it. And this to happen, it's very possible. We still haven't broke yet. So keep this in mind. Okay, guys. And I think that's all I have for today. I don't think anything else interesting to show you guys, but I think that's all. I hope this analysis will help you for the next week. I shared with you everything I see, everything I'm planning to do, and all the levels we described. If told you that I will do business with, I will do it. Okay. The analysis I do here, it's to help me as well, not just promoting myself or anything like that. Okay, guys. So please don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel. Will help me a lot. Okay, will help me a lot, to continue doing these videos. And if you have a comment, leave it as well. It's gonna anything you want me to improve on, or maybe have a look at, let me know, and I will be more than happy to read those comments later on. Okay, guys, thanks so much. I hope you have a great weekend. Next week, before we go, don't forget we have a busy week. Okay, Monday we don't have pretty much nothing. That it's very important for the market, so expect Monday to be very slow. Very slow market reaction. Maybe it's not even a good day for you to trade. Okay, so that's something to think about. Tuesday we have the RBA, so expect some good moves there on the Aussie, maybe on the Kiwi either. Those two, keep that in mind. Wednesday we have some data from Japan. I don't think that's going to be a market mover, but something to keep an eye on. Then we have an inflation rate from the UK, from Canada, and then later on the day we have the Fed rate decision. Okay, the market expecting no no change in the interest rate. But what's going to be very interesting is going to be the FOMC. See those dot plots, see what changes, what the Fed members are thinking, who is changing ideas, opinions, whatever. Then on Thursday we have BOE. Okay, so very interesting to see. Keep in mind last time that the Mark Carney spoke. He said that maybe they will increase interest rates to control inflation. Okay, keep in mind inflation here in the UK, it's going a little bit higher, not wage, so that's not good for consumers. Um, not good for anyone. So I'm speaking about myself as well. And then on Friday, we have inflation rate from Japan, which is very important, by the way. It was not that market mover before, but now it is because everyone is looking at Asia and making decision of how they are doing. Because if they start not doing well, which some people are saying that with a reason, data is not being good from Asia, some of them. So if they are not doing good, that will affect the rest of global growth, right? And that is something that we don't want to see. And then we have PMI from Germany. Keep in mind in this one, by the way, PMI. If you look, you know, the last 5 years from since the end of 2017, by the way, we have been dropping dramatically the German PMI. Okay, manufacturing in Germany is not doing well, and keep in mind we are below the 50. Okay, and the 50 level, below 50 means that the market now is it's slowing down like a lot, and we are kind of getting into negative. Okay, so and this is like crisis alerts, okay, for the market. So below 50 it's really bad, above that it's okay. So keep that in mind. So let's see what comes out, because if we do have another negative rating, it's not going to look good. It's not looking good, because then we're going to drop to this low from 2012. And then if we break that, and if we start breaking that, then we're going to go to levels that we saw in 2008, by the way. So very, very interesting data. Was not a market movie before, but now that because we broke that 50 level, it is a big thing to watch. So keep that in mind on Friday. And I think that's all, guys. So very, very busy week ahead of us from Tuesday onwards. So keep that in mind. Okay. Hope you have a great week. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much, guys. Bye bye.